Ryan Coogler knocked it out the park again. I thought this movie was amazing. It had me in an emotional roller coaster the whole time, from the opening credits to seeing the Marvel title screen come across. No music, you just see Chadwick Boseman
Yeah.
imagery. It's crazy.
Yeah,
No,
we
I mean,
actually rewatched the first one a few hours before, and on Disney Plus they changed the that Marvel opening thing. They kind of like did the same thing with
It's
this
amazing.
movie,
Yeah, it's amazing.
like already paying tribute on that. So like that primed us for this. We were like, oh man, we have to get ready. Like, gotta, you know, just hit us right here.
yeah, no, I really didn't know what to expect with this one, but oh, it was a good movie
Yeah,
all
like
the way around.
almost like nervously too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like we're like, okay, how are they gonna handle this? Are we gonna see some CGI or old footage?
oh, that was.
And I
I
guess we'll
was
get
expecting
into
that.
it. But yeah, part of me was nervous and excited. It was just, yeah, like you said, we went through all the emotions. Man, was this the last Phase 4 movie?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
last one.
Is it the best one?
I
That's what
think
I want. That's what I want to say.
I was gonna say either this or Spider-Man.
Oh,
recent,
I
yeah,
forgot about
You
Spider
forgot
Man.
about Spider-Man.
recency bias and just the fact that it's Chadwick Boseman and Black Panther, who I love. I'm gonna say this is the best one, but
I'm glad you brought up Spider Man.
Spider-Man was good.
I was just thinking, Marvel hasn't really touched on like loss or like grief, and then I was like just thinking like, okay, in every movie, someone's like someone's dying and someone's upset about it. But I was like, this one they handled it like a lot differently, and I guess because it's like the main character. But I don't know, it just felt very different from the rest of them. Like even though it kind of propelled the actual storyline a little further, um, like a little bit. But this was a story about like grief, coping. You know,
Totally.
Yeah,
I was just trying to compare with other Marvel movies, and yeah, I guess Spider Man, like he lost Aunt May, but this one
Yeah,
they just did it
you
so
can't.
differently.
I can't compare this to any other Marvel movie.
Yeah,
Like even when you look, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's like right, like even if you're just looking at it from like a story perspective, like real life stuff aside, of course, it's like crazy. But even for me, even from like a story perspective, like Sherry lost her entire family. Like it's just her. I mean, what now we know that there's like her nephew now, but I mean, her mom,
no
her
one expected mom to die.
dad.
Yeah,
no,
Yeah, that was crazy.
like the fact that she had to wear the same funeral robe, and I was like, because I remember asking like, wait, she never got a chance to burn her funeral robe because that's when Namor came out. And I was like, yo, this is like when I realized that, I was like, yo, I don't like this, man. Like, because the whole time we're Suri, like everything she's feeling, we're feeling. And that's in that sense, at that part, I was like, yo, this is tough.
I mean, like think about that. Have you ever watched a film where it's like the main character is going through the emotions that like the audience is going through with like the actual main character dying? It's just crazy to think about that.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like the way the movie started, just like boom, right into she's trying to save his life. It's like this, a
Even
murder.
that was hard to watch because it was just like almost like this probably like could have been very real, or it was very realistic in the sense that like because we all know, like what had happened to Chadwick, and the fact that they're talking about this dying character, and you just can't help but think, man, like is like it's almost as if like this is how Chadwick had went. Like I know it probably wasn't that crazy like science stuff, but you couldn't help I couldn't help but think like, oh, his heart rate is this, and I was like, oh man, this is getting very very real.
Mm.
He's no more heart rate, and I was like, I don't know. just from the start, very like right into it. And again, I didn't know how to process it at the time, just like Shuri, you know.
I like the way they did that because I was afraid, like how we were saying before, with the whole imagining like a CGI type situation. I think this was a good way to deal with it, deal with like losing a character, and yeah, like the fact that it's like Shuri's like she's trying to save him and she's not in the room, but it's like we still feel like okay, this is happening. So
sad movie. Like just it's just I'm trying to think. I'm like, okay, like, am I gonna be, when this movie's out on Disney Plus, am I gonna be watching this movie from start to finish every time? I don't know.
Yes, I think. See, like what I was also thinking about was like whenever this might be TMI, but I'm going through like some sort of midlife crisis. I watched the movie Soul, right, to help to on Disney
really,
Plus to make me think like, this is life. You don't have to be any spot particularly as long as you're enjoying life or whatever. That's kind of like the overall theme. And for me, when I finished the movie, I was like, yo, I just went through all the stages of grief here, and I was like, I, thankfully I haven't like lost anyone like that close to me. But if that time comes, I was like thinking, this is a perfect portrayal of like what people go through.
Mm-hmm.
She was like angry for a bit. She was denying it. She was, what was it like? In the beginning, she was bargaining with Bass, like, please, like, help me save him. She was, and then at the end, we all know what happened. She finally like accepted it. But that's why I was like trying to compare with so many other movies, because I was like, I feel like a lot of movies when it comes to grief or dying, a lot of times they're like telling you how to feel, very like vocally about it. But this one, like, where's Shuri this whole time, and every emotion that she was going through, I was just like, that's what they're like trying to get us to feel too. So I don't know, like to what you said, am I gonna watch it when it comes out? Like, absolutely. I don't know. I feel like it's a really good way to guide people. That's why I thought it was more than just like a Marvel movie.
Oh yeah, this was definitely way more than. To me, like, I watched at that theater and I was like, this is like a perfect movie to me. Like, it really took me.
So like it's sad, but it was like beautiful sad, and I
yeah.
don't know, it just takes you through those steps that you just have to go through.
Like, she became like the leader. Like this is, yeah. I mean, the movie and also the act. Letitia Wright. Like, this is the biggest role of her career. It's like they had to change everything for her.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what's crazy too. She probably wasn't expecting it either. Just like her character. My God.
it's like there's the layers to this movie.
I
It's
didn't even
just
think of
insane. The layers are just too crazy. Like, it's just like, I mean, yeah, it's just, I just can't believe, it's like, man was 42 years old, and like such an iconic role in the last movie. And like, I think the direction that the franchise is going is it's in good hands. Like, after watching this movie, I was like, okay, like, cool. Like, they can still keep making these movies and it's going to be great.
Yeah, like as far as phase 4, like, we were kind of struggling through Doctor Strange and Thor. Sorry to anyone who like really liked those movies.
Yeah,
they do their job. They're Marvel movies. This one just felt so different, man. This one
Totally. Like, those are throwaway films. This is not a throwaway film at all.
This was a rough phase. this was a rough phase.
With the shows, Eternals. I mean, we can do a separate video. We can discuss our thoughts.
Eternals was this phase?
Huh?
It has to be, right?
Eternals. I'm not sure. Probably. I thought anything after Endgame was phase 4, but I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. So okay.
Yeah, I think everything after Endgame is the same phase.
Yeah, that's why I was asking if this is the last one. If this is the last one, then it's anything between Endgame and now is phase 4. But then I heard that we're starting phase 6.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. So like, I could be totally off.
I mean, honestly, I don't even know. I don't really.
Yeah, we've been off for a bit, so we might have missed the whole phase in the last 7
Did
months.
we miss a phase? Was this the only phase 5 movie?
I mean, it's standalone. This is a standalone movie. Like
It could be.
like it propels the entire story a little bit with like the CIA person. You know, they're making their own
Oh, you're talking
Suicide
about
Squad.
yeah.
They again, it just propels it a little bit. Otherwise, this is a Black Panther story, like on its own. Like I don't know.
What do you guys think of the Killmonger scene?
That's where I was getting nervous again.
Yeah, I mean, like I was just, but I like how I didn't even think of it like the way you were talking about it, Max. As far as like I thought of it as grief, but I never even thought about okay, she's going through these different phases of it. But I loved how I guess that the moment where she's kind of experienced the anger part. You have Killmonger there to
Yeah, just like
fan the flames.
personify that. Yeah.
That's what Namor said to her. He said, I heard you and her mom talking. You said you wanted to watch the world burn.
Which I thought was a crazy line in the beginning. Like when she first said that, I was like, sound like the Joker right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I was like, and I guess it was important because I didn't know that's how upset she was. And after watching the whole movie, I guess it makes sense because I think she mentioned at the end that, her brother had done so much for her. And then at this time where he really needed her, she fell short. And that's where, that's been weighing on her. I guess that just translated to anger. But saying like the world will burn the more I talk about T'Challa, I was like, oh, what?
But I think that just goes back to what you were saying. It's just when you're going through something like that, it's just like because her whole point during that time, and she was like, I just have to keep on moving.
Yep, she was in denial, I guess. Right? Would you say that was the denial part?
Yeah.
And that ending of her just sitting there and finally taking a moment to just like really just, and then seeing the flashbacks of T'Challa was like
Rihanna and then the fire going.
fire, yeah, just, and then she starts crying, and then the credits roll, and then they come back. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Like I guess like even a part of me, and I'm sure Shuri was feeling this too throughout the movie. She's like, I'm not ready to be Black Panther. The Black Panther's gone. And I think a lot of skeptics going into this, myself included, was like, how are they going to pull this off without Chadwick? And I was like, man, they'll make Shuri the Black Panther. It's going to be subpar. This is probably going to be a bad movie. And I think part of the movie, like going along with Shuri's like journey of transformation, she's learning to accept that she is a Black Panther, and then in that turn, like sense, we were too, or at least I was. I was like, oh man, she's actually the Black Panther. Like this was a seamless transition now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because that it took me to that point. I think when she finally let go, I was like, oh man, this is she's legit.
Legit.
Because yeah, I went into it thinking, all right, this is gonna be it could be problematic. It might be a little corny. I don't know. I didn't think it was gonna be this good. I know that much.
No, I definitely didn't think it'd be this good.
Like this is gonna be impossible to do without Chad.
What do you guys think of Namor as a villain?
I thought he was solid.
Yeah, like the more I think about it, the more I'm just like I'm happy with what they did with like a villain like him. Just because.
What do you mean, like him?
I mean, I guess like a complex villain, then it's just like another nation to fight, like to see like to see them like go to war the way they had to go to war, like that was cool. But yeah, no, I felt like that was nice having like a complex villain.
Like his motivation seemed pretty sound, and like every decision. Killmonger too, yeah. And it fit with the theme.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's like there's that cycle. Everyone's out for revenge. That's why Killmonger is so important here too, because he was part of the cycle and he was needed to kind of break it, kind of help Shuri find her way. I thought what they did with his name was so slick. That was one of my favorite things. They were like, because I'm sure Stan Lee or when they wrote Namor, they were like, oh, it means boy without love. No, man, that was slick. That was some beautiful writing.
I thought, and showing his whole backstory was awesome.
Yeah.
I thought so good.
I also like the fact I got hyped for this when he mentioned that he was a mutant. Every mutant drop is just it's like we're coming full circle.
Getting closer.
Yeah, like those X-Men movies were not throwaway. We're about to get there.
Getting there, yep.
You guys
they can be throwaways. We need new X-Men movies.
I mean, I don't know. They could redo them, I guess. But man, those were solid.
That's a different video.
Yeah. you guys said you haven't seen Miss Marvel yet, right? But that was another, like, it's not a spoiler, but they mentioned mutant in there too.
That's what I heard. Yeah. So this would be like the second time.
Yeah, and I haven't seen.
Not the second time. Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, Doctor Strange.
Well, Doctor Strange, they had freaking.
Yeah, that was
Charles Xavier there. Who did they mention the mutant in Doctor Strange? I don't remember.
Well, I mean, I'm just talking about like the Charles Xavier scene.
Yeah, I haven't seen Moon Knight yet, but I was wondering. They dropped some there, but every time they mention that,
I think so.
I get pretty hyped. But yeah, no, Namor is cool. I'm happy that he didn't fully yield. You know what I mean? He still kind of holds some sort of grudge to Shuri.
I don't know if he does. You think so?
Yeah. I thought that's what he said at the end. He's like, when the world turns on them, we'll be their only ally.
I don't think that's a grudge.
I don't think they're really allies.
I mean, like,
I might have to rewatch it, but that's the feeling I got, that he was telling his lieutenant or something.
I thought she was gonna kill him too. I was worried. She was mad. She's like, "Yo," she's like, "How you gonna bend the knee?" And I was like, "Yo, don't kill him right now."
Yeah.
Don't like turn on him. Like, we need this. He's tight.
Yeah, I thought what he was telling her. I thought the gist I got was they'll strike when it's time, because how it's going now, everyone's gonna reject Wakanda because they're.
I see what you're saying, but it's like they can potentially still get what they want. Whereas, like, okay, their whole idea was like to go to war with everybody else with Wakanda, and that may still have to happen.
Right.
So, I mean,
yeah,
I want to see War for America. That's what I want to see.
They're not going to do that.
Do what?
I want to see them go to War for America. Have them fighting like the whole Avengers.
You know what's funny? It's like that looks like it's like alluding to like, okay, what's coming next? But I'm like, they may not even do anything with that.
No, that'd be kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, if anything, like again, because like they didn't really do too much to propel the whole story as a whole. Like, I guess the Ant-Man will really decide that. But it's just like where are they going with the CIA lady? And I think that was the only thing different. She's officially, like, I don't think we knew she was CIA or like the head of the CIA in this movie or before this movie.
No, but did we learn that? Did we not learn that in Falcon and Winter Soldier?
She was just some mysterious figure who was just recruiting people. And then this movie, we found out she was married to Martin Freeman's character,
right?
And that she's the actual head of the CIA.
Right.
I don't know if that was common knowledge before. She was just some figure who would walk up and be like, "Hey, I got a job for you,"
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember what I thought she was in in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I have to go back.
That was so long ago.
But yeah, she's been in like all of them.
She gives him the card, her like business card.
Yeah,
and I don't know if it's. I don't know if she was like, "Yo, this is who I am," but they got that TV show coming out.
Yeah. But really, that's all they like. I don't think there was any like thing to do with Kang in this one.
Right.
So I'm curious, like how this will fit into the rest of it.
Yeah,
Because like
yeah,
all this Marvel stuff, you always figure, how come the rest of them aren't in this? How come if like there's a big world thing going on? But I think they handled it pretty well here. It's like
it's like
a little ship. Oh, that's the timer.
goodbye. It was like a goodbye to T'Challa. Farewell to T'Challa.
Yeah, no, I'm happy no crazy cameos. Like I feel like that's what Thor and Doctor Strange had to do. Why did Thor do that?
Yeah, Thor had Zeus and the Hercules, or that wasn't a cameo, but Hercules is the.
Yeah.
That's what happened in Thor. I mean, actually, I slept through most of that movie, so I can't.
There is Matt Damon, Russell Crowe.
Oh yeah,
as Zeus. No, but I remember like that's why I got mad with Doctor Strange because it was just like a big cameo, like see John Krasinski as
I love that.
Fantastic Four, but it's like that's what made it good. You know what I mean? But the story itself or the movie itself. But again, that's a different video.
I'm excited for this next phase.
Huh?
I'm excited for this next phase.
But man, this movie. What do I want to ask?
Legendary.
I was actually trying to nitpick it a little bit, and there were no stupid decisions made. The writing wasn't like dragging or anything.
We were talking about one earlier. Do you remember when they're on the bridge? When they first rescue Ironheart?
Oh, okay, yeah. That was a little lot of cheese there. Like she pretty much killed all those cops.
Yeah, like
she murdered people.
We never talked about it after that.
You're right. Yeah, I forgot about that. She straight lit them on fire.
But didn't say a word about it. I'm like, that's weird.
And then instead it's like a heroic flyby, like the three of them, motorcycle, car, Ironheart with the fire in the background.
I was like, wow, this is what we're doing?
That could be a little different. Yeah.
You're just killing people. Good movie, man. Good movie.
Very little to nitpick because a lot of times that's always been my issue ever since like Avengers or with all these Marvel movies. There's like a lot of banter. Like, because I know like they ad lib a lot and it makes it come off real or whatever, but a lot of times I don't like it. But this one was, I don't know, this one was pretty solid.
How would you rate this movie? Like 1 out of 10?
Oh yeah, we used to do a rating system.
Oh yeah.
I think I like this. Am I allowed to say that?
What were you about to say?
If I liked it more than the first Black Panther?
Really?
No.
Really?
I almost said it. I just saw the first one. It's just a different movie, though. That's what I'm saying.
It's hard to compare. I know.
I really got into my feelings with this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I like this more than the first Black Panther.
I would have to watch it again, obviously.
You feel the same way?
Yeah, well, I need to go back and rewatch the first one because the hype around that movie was so like euphoric.
Yeah.
But this was, like you said, like the emotions on this, and then like having all the expectations for the last movie and having no expectations for this one, but then coming at the theater and being like, "Yo, this movie was great." I don't know.
I think they're so different. You can't compare.
Like, yeah, so I can't even. I'm not gonna do it.
Even though it's a sequel, which is crazy. Like
I gotta sit with that for a little bit before I can even.
It says our meeting will end in 10 minutes.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I still feel like the first Black Panther was. I don't know. Like I felt like that was just like a movie. I was like, I can't believe this is a movie.
Yeah.
That was a part of it. It was like, I can't believe this is even happening.
Yeah. That's like.
So because I know it was Charles's favorite Marvel movie. What would you guys? You saying like 10 out of 10 of the first one, Andrew?
If I were to give the first one, yeah, if I were to give the first one a 10 out of 10, which I could give it a 10 out of 10. I give this an 8 out of 10.
I'm giving first Black Panther a 9 out of 10. I'm giving this an 8.5. Only because you got, it's bittersweet because T'Challa's not in it.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to stand by what I said. That's why I was wondering if I could, because they're just so different.
I respect it, man. I
Like a
get
whole
it.
new main character. It's like,
Yeah, it's a whole different.
I left this movie wanting to listen to the soundtrack.
Ooh, me too. Yes.
Watch it again.
Yeah.
And then almost as if like, I don't know, if someone is going through it and be like, hey, let's watch Black Panther, man. Like, or my kid is sad, let's watch Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. I don't know. As far as a rating, man, I haven't rated any of these Marvel movies, so it's this will be my first one. So I want to give it a good one. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Yeah, close to a 10 out of 10 actually. Like Endgame was 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah, Endgame and the other one was like that. Oh, those two movies are 10 out of 10.
This is close to that. I don't know, because again, they're just different. That's what I'm having trouble with. This is not like any other Marvel movie, even though it was a lot of action. I don't want to watch it for the action.
Is this better than Spider-Man for this phase?
Yes. Yeah. I tried watching Spider-Man, and that was another cameo thing, which again was the coolest thing ever.
Spider-Man was good, but yeah, this was better.
This was better. But again, they're just different movies because I'm not gonna watch this for the action. Like, seeing what's her name, Midnight Angel, Ironheart. Yes, that was cool.
Mm.
The what's it called? Oh my god, I'm spacing out when Ironheart was building her suit, and they had that Burner Boy song, and I was like, I was rocking in my seat, like this is about to get crazy.
The soundtrack was fucking. It's a good soundtrack.
But I just keep thinking I want to see it too. I want to put Shuri under the microscope the next time I watch it, and just see if I have that feeling again, I guess, or I don't know.
What a movie!
Yeah, I gotta see this one again.
Like I played the music immediately after. So good. E40 was on the track.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of it in a while.
Yeah, no, this is a different kind of movie. It's just so unique.
Yeah.
The acting, everybody. Angela Bassett, her giving that throne room speech where
so good.
Yeah.
Told Okoye, she's like, "Yo, like you're done."
That's crazy.
Gosh, man, give her all.
Even when they first brought her in and said she was like like the queen of Wakanda at the beginning, I was like nervous at first. I was like, oh man, like how's she gonna portray her running this country? But strong start, strong finish, like just again her performance.
Crazy.
That's what I was nervous about. Like I knew she was gonna kill it, but it was even better than what I was expecting.
Yeah.
They got it. Disney Plus. I'm hoping they release like a behind the scenes or like making of the film, because that was the most emotional. Making this movie was probably so crazy. Like the acting was just so good. Like,
yeah,
it must have been so hard to do all these scenes.
Even like every supporting actress, and I'm going to say actress, because it's just mostly women like running this, aside from M'Baku, the Duke, Winston Duke's character.
Yeah. Who I thought got killed.
I love that he wasn't just some like dumb musclehead. He was actually like Shuri's counsel, and he made all like strong ass points.
Yeah, such a good character.
And like, you know, it was just straight to the point. Like, this is not a good idea. You know, I'm kind of your big brother now, and I was with it. You know, I didn't even think twice. I
Mhm.
thought it was gonna be like some comic relief, dummy head, but he was able to do that plus be pivotal. Just such good writing, man. Like no
Bro,
throwaway lines.
I
Me
thought,
too.
yeah, I thought Namor killed his ass though with that punch.
Yeah.
I was
He was
like,
wearing vibranium. He had some vibranium
oh
stuff.
yeah, right, yeah. I was
He was
like,
decked out. That's why this was actually an interesting fight because it's vibranium versus vibranium. You know, man. All right. So, what do you think about the sun at the end? In our last 3 minutes before we sign out, were you guys expecting that?
I wasn't expecting that.
uh,
Like that was
Yeah. When I rewatched the first movie, they barely show them getting back together for like a little bit. Like they kissed twice, and I guess that was the spark from it. But you know, it could have gone like over your head there. But
oh, another
checks
thing I
out.
was not expecting. I
Hmm?
don't know if you noticed this, but did you notice Lupita Nyong'o looked a little bit different in this movie?
Oh, she looked good. I also I like her costume upgrade.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you got this dope costume now.
yeah. No, that was a nice costume.
I had like a huge crush on her before this movie, like especially during Us. But when
Uh,
she started speaking all these languages and like it sounded so fluent too, I was like, wow, what an amazing actress also.
Such a good actor, man. She's so good.
Like I remember she was speaking Korean in the first one, and I was like, I don't know Korean that well. But I was like, yeah, all right, that's like, you know, Disney trying to be cool. But here she was just every you know, every spot they went at. Her and even Angela Bassett, they knew it. And I was like, yo, this is I don't know. It was cool. Man, I'm gonna watch it again.
I
Let's watch
thought
it.
Dana Kaluuya was going to pull up for a second, because in that same scene of Angela Bassett when she's stripping Okoye, she was like, "Yeah, like your husband was a traitor," and so I thought he was going to show up later or something.
Yeah, like just to like come save everyone on the rhinos.
Yeah,
Actually, where was he during like when they got when see the rhinos come out when they
he's in
got attacked?
prison. He's in
He's
prison.
not
They said.
dead.
So,
He's not
Yeah.
dead. All right, well, that's Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman.
Man, I'm gonna watch
Brilliant
it.
actor, man. Brilliant actor.